Let's jump into number one. It was originally published in October of 1967, and the title is The Planet of No Return, issue number one. Okay, so I'm going to start out with a little teaser, and then go into the synopsis of the story. So, the initial page, which gets you grabbed into the story, is a action-packed scene which has Kirk, McCoy, Yeoman Rand, being attacked by a huge Audrey 2-like Venus flytrap creature, kind of like from Little Shop of Horrors, who is basically sucking them in like a massive organic Hoover vacuum. And they're commenting how they're going to get out of this sticky wicket. So, that's the grabber, and it looks pretty action-packed with huge plants. Yes, just my kind of episode. Okay, so we're going to start out. Okay, so the comic book starts out with Enterprise heading to planet KG, which we find out means Kelly Green, because apparently this is a very lush land planet, which is full of all kinds of plants, which is, by the way, the only planet in this entire galaxy they're in that has life, which is very odd. Okay, space spores enter the ship before they get to the planet and infest guinea pigs that turn into huge plant monsters that actually attack Kirk and Spock. Luckily, security guys come in, red shirt guys come in, and they zap the killer plants with their phasers. So, Kirk and Spock are saved, and more importantly, the crew realize there is a danger afoot from deadly plant spores. Anyway, Kirk, Rand, and company being down once they reach KG, planet KG, and they are engulfed by a mist. And the mist is particularly thick around Crewman Hunt. Crewman Hunt starts transforming, oddly enough, into a plant. And then the remaining crew, before his transformation is complete, is attacked by the large Venus flytrap creature, which was depicted in the splash page, in the original grabber page. The flytrap, before it sucks in our crew, is attacked by another plant. So the other plant ends up dying in the process. In addition to the flytrap plant that was the aggressive one. When they take a closer look at the plant that was their savior, they're able to figure out that it was actually Crewman Hunt all along that had completed his transformation and realized that his crewmates were in danger. Okay, so the crew is attacked yet by more plants and take refuge in a cave. While in that cave, where they make plans of maybe it's a good idea to get the heck out of Dodge and get back to the Enterprise, Ensign Rand is grabbed by one of the plants and taken away. The crew goes ahead and tracks her down and finds her herded into a pen with a bunch of other mammals, apparently food for the slaughter. So that's the end of part one. Picking up in part two, the crew try to get to Ensign Rand by zapping their way through a huge plant wall of thorny plant matter. Unfortunately, the bushes that make up this wall regenerate far too fast, and they're not able to get through to Rand. Meantime, the animals and Rand are starting to be herded to other plants that ingest them. The crew decides to have Spock fire the ship's phasers down at this wall of thorny plant matter to blast a hole so they can get through to Rand. The shot is made, and the crew fight their way to Rand and are beamed aboard the ship, safe and sound. Finally, the episode is wrapped up when the plant is deemed too dangerous, and the Enterprise completely destroys the planet from orbit, naturally keeping the Prime Directive firmly in their frontal lobes.
It's too dangerous.
It's too dangerous. It's a deadly, dangerous planet that deserves to be completely obliterated from a completely different galaxy outside of the Milky Way.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know why they say they're in a different galaxy. And this galaxy is completely barren except for this one planet. So
exactly.
Maybe they don't know the difference between a galaxy and a solar system. Or that's what I'm hoping for.
I'm hoping so. Because it is rather annoying because, as everyone knows who has watched any Star Trek episode, either in the original Trek or any of these successors, galaxies are big places. We're just in like certain quadrants.
They only have the little alpha quadrant.
Exactly, except of course in Voyager's case.
And Deep Space Nine.
And Deep Space Nine, that's true. But for the most part, we're not jumping between galaxies.
No.
So, it is, and this is not the only episode that does that.
Well, even in the TV series, they go to the edge of the galaxy. Remember, there's the Great Barrier that they can't get through,
true.
Which seems a lot further than just the little alpha quadrant that is established later.
Exactly. And, of course, in the classic Star Trek V, we see they go to the center of the galaxy.
To find God.
To find God.
So, ironically enough, they also do the same thing, or something very similar in the animated show.
Yeah.
But this time they find Lucifer. But that's a different story.
Hey, God, Lucifer, you want to mix it up.
All right. Real quick on the cover, has a picture of Spock. And Sulu and Kirk. That's the only time Sulu's ever even depicted in this whole issue.
And he doesn't pop up very often in the other ones I've read so far.
So far, he has not shown up too terribly much, if at all.
Well, there's just the one that we'll get to today, where an Asian gentleman is depicted, and his name is not mentioned, but it's probably Sulu.
It is probably him.
It's probably Sulu. Okay.
All right, real quick on the splash page, the Kirk character here.
Yeah.
Who do you think that looks like? It doesn't quite look like Kirk to me.
No. He's like too skinny or something.
But what does his face look like? Who?
The side profile?
Yeah.
Oh, didn't we talk about this?
We did.
It looks like Trip Tucker.
Yeah, it looks just like Trip Tucker. So,
which, of course, couldn't be.
30 years before they had a Trip Tucker, they drew him here as Kirk. It's amazing.
It's funny. Now, McCoy looks pretty McCoy-like.
McCoy and Rand look really good, I think. It's just Kirk.
Yeah.
All right, so then we actually get into the story. Kelly